the Chelsea Chamber of Commerce and this fantastic evening where we officially kick off the Small Business Enterprise Center, the baby from the brainstorming of our dear friends Alberto and Nada. We're so pleased to look around and see our board members here. I see our immediate past president Joe Vernard, Vice President David Vidlin, our Executive Vice President Beth McDougall, Rick Gordon, who's been on the board for decades here. We're super excited to see that support from our board members. And of course we have our fantastic staff, our Executive Director Jen Hassell, and our Administrative Office personnel Carolina Bonilla. So it really is awesome to see that. And then when we look around and see the City of Chelsea staff here, led by our City Manager Tom Ambrosino, to Alex, to Carl, to Lourdes, hopefully not missing anyone. It's just fantastic to see that. And then in the back, our City Council President Roy Avellaneda. Because this is a special night. For 2 years or 3 years, right, the Chelsea Chamber really has been, when COVID negatively affected our community and the small businesses, it likewise did this to the Chamber, and our doors were shut. And through the great work of the people I've mentioned, and under the new leadership of our Executive Director, the doors are open, and this is our brand new office. We look at, this was a creation of our Executive Vice President, Beth McDougall, who is McDougall Architects. And she, along with the past president and the executive director, redid this entire office over, you know, to make it more modern, make it more convenient for us to have trainings, to do the things that this Small Business Enterprise Center is going to do. So we're excited about that. We're excited about the fact that, you know, under the leadership of, we were colleagues on the City Council for many years, Council Vega and I, and he's a commissioner of the Housing Authority, but as Undersecretary, this fantastic grant that came our way, the Community Empowerment and Reinvestment Grant, you know, that the Hispanic American Institute applied for. They came to us and agreed to be a partner with the Chamber of Commerce, and it has been a stepping stone for us, or the foundation, I should say, that is allowing us for the creation of the Small Business Enterprise Center that I said, you know, was the dream of Alberto and Nada years ago, and now this grant has allowed us, you know, to bring it to fruition. So I want to welcome everybody. My name is Paul Nowicki, by the way. I'm the president of the Chamber of Commerce. As I said, former city councilor. I sat with Council Vega. And I'm also the director of operations at Chelsea Housing Authority. You know, and I couldn't be happier than to see this great turnout and to be kicking off this fantastic event. And so I want to bring up our main partner in this is the Executive Vice President of the Hispanic American Institute, Nada Acevedo.
Good afternoon, everyone. Es un placer estar aquí con ustedes. Como lo dijo Paul, yo estoy haciendo un trabajo casi como de 2 años. Lo iniciamos antes de la pandemia, durante la pandemia y ahora estamos un poquito después de la pandemia. Ha sido difícil. Voy a tratar de sumarizar estas 12 páginas como en 4 buques. Ya el instituto fue establecido en 1997. The Hispanic American Chamber of Commerce was established in 1997 as a non-profit organization at 501c3, which allows us to seek funding from the government for non-profits. We are different from the Chamber of Commerce, and that's what is good about us. We can help the Chamber and help the small businesses. Y el instituto fue establecido como una agencia sin ánimo de lucro, que es una agencia, el título es 5016, eso nos permite a nosotros conseguir dinero del gobierno para poder ayudar a negocios y a agencias como la Cámara. La Cámara es un 5016, que Juan lo sabe muy bien. Yo llevo como 7 años tratando de conseguir dinero de Juan, pero yo era en mi vida pasada era un 5016. Él me decía, tú no puedes aplicar aquí. Y yo lo llevaba a reuniones cuando estábamos en el casino y te hablaba. Y él tenía Urban Agenda, que era pequeñito comparado con esto. So I tried to get money from Juan for many years. I give advice to him to meetings. We talk together, and he said to me, "No, you cannot do it, man. You're a 501c6." So now we are, since 1997, we're a 501c3, which means that we can do this kind of work. The chamber, the institute has over 30 relationships. We have about 20 in the private sector, most of them banks, but with the government, the largest is the Massachusetts Office of Business and Housing Development. One is the Undersecretary, and thank you, Juan, thank you again. El instituto tiene como 30 o más relaciones. Tenemos, hi Alex, didn't see you before. Tenemos como 30 relaciones. De gobierno tenemos dos. La principal es, te lo voy a decir en inglés, yo no sé, Alberto sabrá cómo decirlo en español. Se dice, la oficina de, ¿cómo se dice en español, Juan?
Sería una buena pregunta. Vivienda, la Oficina Ejecutiva de Vivienda y Desarrollo Económico.
Y Desarrollo Económico, sí, Juan lo dijo perfecto. Eso es lo que hacen, vivienda, todos necesitamos vivienda, todos necesitamos una casa. Ellos hacen eso. Y Desarrollo Económico es lo que estamos haciendo hoy aquí. Y tenemos otra organización, que es semi-gubernamental, Macro Capital Corporation, se llama NGCC. We have another agency, it's called the Macro Capital Corporation, which is not 100% government, it's quasi. Pero ellos han estado con nosotros hace como 7 años y nos han dado dinero para proveer asistencia técnica a negocios pequeños. Pero eso no nos da a nosotros la habilidad de ayudar a los comerciantes en general, como con este dinero de Juan, de la agencia Juan. Y de lo que tenemos en este momento, otra agencia que se llama, lo voy a decir en inglés, pero te la sabes también, Macro Capital Corporation. Es para crecimiento, es una agencia que aporta para crecimiento. And we do a good job with them. We have been with them for about 7 years. The director is Larry Andrews, who you know well. But again, those funds is to provide technical assistance and direct services to small businesses. It's not to do what we are doing now, which is to help agencies like the Chelsea Chamber of Commerce to develop a center, and like we did, we opened a brand new office in Springfield. Yeah. But that's thanks to the funding that we received from you. I said in the beginning that we have the private sector, and we are very lucky that we have the private sector. We raise money from the large banks. Alberto and I, we talked about doing that about 5-6 years ago, and my partners are the little one, Jeffrey Chase Morgan, has a very good relationship with us. But locally, I mean, they are national, but I have Easter Bank, Brooklyn Trust, JP Morgan, Boston Private, People United. We have probably 10 banks that they help us to direct businesses to those banks and treat them a little bit better. I used to be a banker, no hold against me, but we try to connect them with the bank. Lo último es que tenemos muchas relaciones en el sector privado, tenemos relaciones con varios bancos y estamos tratando de penetrar ahora las ciudades. Estamos hablando con Springfield y estamos conversando con Alex, hacer partnerships, trabajar juntos y traer proyectos. Le trajimos 2 proyectos a Alex y a Mr. Ambrosino y estamos hablando de eso. Pero todo eso es, no sé ahora vas a hablar tú, pero estamos aquí gracias a Juan Vega, no porque sea mi amigo por muchos años, pero sinceramente la labor que él hizo con estos dineros bajo la agencia de casas y desarrollo económico, que era mejor que en inglés, and the Massachusetts Office of Housing and Business Development is a great thing to do. Thank you, Juan.
Thank you.
I think that next I have to introduce Jane. Jennifer. Yeah. Thank you for your attention and enjoy the rest of the day.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. I really, really appreciate it. The Chamber appreciates it. The Hispanic American Institute appreciates it, and the new created Small Business Enterprise Center. We want to thank El Mundo for being here to cover this event. We want to thank the Chelsea Community Cable for being here as well. We really appreciate it, all the support here. As Paul mentioned, we were closed during the pandemic, and that was a huge gap that the community, when the community needed us. I know that City Hall, Alex, Tom, Lourdes, and the team, Carl, did a phenomenal job at trying to support the businesses, and that's what we're here to continue to do with the support of Alberto, Nader, and the team. I'm proud to have Carolina here as part of the team here at the Chamber, and myself. In the past few months, I think we've accomplished a lot, just proving that our doors are open and that we're here to help. So we're really excited. Es un placer estar aquí con ustedes. Y agradecemos mucho que llegaron a celebrar esta ocasión y estamos aquí para ayudar a la comunidad. Muchas gracias.
So I want to join Jennifer in saying that all of this that we've accomplished, if it wasn't for Jennifer, we've been in hot soup. Why I say that? Because she has a vibrancy and an energy that she's brought to the chamber that we're lacking before. And that energy is going to be put to good use. Buen uso, va a estar en buenas manos, Jennifer, porque también sabe español y es latina, y va a haber muchas cosas buenas. So can you put the presentation? But basically, I'm going to very quickly show you what we call it the SERP grants, Community Engagement Revitalization Program. And the SERP, thanks to Juan Vega and his team, has put together this program that the Institute, with 3 partners, have essentially launched this program in 3 cities: Chelsea, Springfield, and East Boston. Now, East Boston is part of Boston, but it's sort of separated. So, and we take advantage of the long standing and the Hispanic presence there in East Boston. So, once we put the slides together, I'll do like the FedEx man, that hasn't there. Oh, welcome, Ana. Ana Betancourt.
Alberto, we're just having a slight technical difficulty.
No problem.
I'm going to connect with the...
Okay. Yeah. So anyhow, so the 3, and that's why in my previous life I was an engineer. I always carried a copy with me. Remember the acetates? The acetates? Yeah. Yeah, that's gone. So, so what do we have here? So basically,
There it is.
There you go.
oh, there you go. I'm back in. Okay, thank you. Okay. Now you're talking about Hispanic American Institute. He failed to say that we have 3 offices. Boston was inaugurated. Our president sits in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then we have one in Puerto Rico, which is the largest office there. So what do? Peces. ¿Qué son peces? Fish. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for 1 day. If you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. That's what the Institute is all about, to learn how to fish. And this is the acronym: provide technical assistance, engage qualified minority women and women-owned businesses, collaborate with a network of community partners like the Chamber, educate business owners, and share information. Next. I'm going to go quickly here. Free SERP awards. I think we were the only organization, if I'm not mistaken, we got 3. Okay. East Boston Coalition. The requirement is to partner with a community organization. Very key. So in East Boston, we have Veronica Robles Cultural Center. Veronica is a master. She's a ball of fire, and she's teaching young people to do elotes. ¿Saben lo que es elotes? Corn. Like they sell in Mexico. So she has these kids, there's about 30 of them, and she's teaching them how to run a business which is a cart, elotes, to sell in Boston and the farmers market. That's there. In Springfield, we partnered with Springfield Technical Community College to do classes in English for immigrant Latino entrepreneurs, and we have two students back there que participaron en ese curso, English for New Bostonians. What do they do? They basically teach English and business. So business owners that need English, this is a perfect opportunity, and we're going to launch this. Well, we did one cohort, which they came, but we're doing this again in the second phase. And then, by the way, also in Springfield, we were able to establish an office thanks to the funding from the state, and that office is doing well. So you know, Springfield in that area is a cluster of cities that are very heavily Latino. So we're doing that training. We're basically replicating the same program here as in other cities. And then Chelsea, which we're here. It hasn't been a tough road. Why? Because it's 5 grants to manage with lots of players, and the president sitting in New Mexico, he signed the grants and he says, "What are you doing?" Every day, right? So he's on top of us in trying to deliver services, and we're doing that. So it's 5 sub-grantees. We have 10, and I have a chart, bilingual, bicultural business advisors. Some of them are here, like Larry and Alberto Luna. And in total, that's a significant amount of money for the Institute and this community, close to $1 million. When we got it, Juan said, "You have to spend this in 6 months." What? So thanks to his team, it has been extended to December of this year. And that's where we're going to use the money, the bulk of the money, because I think we spent like 20–30% of the funds. So we're going to extend that to December 30th or 31st. Next. Okay, SPEC. What have we done so far? We've drafted a charter. We're sitting here in the chamber, so we have to develop a charter to see how we work with the chamber. Right? And the chamber has been beautiful. So we have a charter. And more importantly, we formed a steering committee. And members of the steering committee are here, and our business owners that you see here on Broadway. Latinos, Rick Gordon, part of the steering committee. Roman Gold is part of the steering committee. So that steering committee, because they're business owners, is going to dictate what we do. Simple, right? So this is what we've done. Diplomado course. That's courses for business in Spanish, taught by Hernán Aristizabal, a professor from Colombia, via Zoom, he is not here, and by Alberto Luna, a successful business owner, and John Medina. That we did already, and we're doing that again here. English for immigrant entrepreneurs, 10-week course, which the fellows participated. What is your name of your company, please?
Ruma Pallets.
Ruma Pallets participated along with other 5.
Mayra Romero.
Mayra Romero, ¿de dónde? De Delicia.
Delicia Salvadoreña.
Delicia Salvadoreña. So we're going to do Safe Serve in Spanish. Another member of our team.
Serve
Safe Serve.
Serve safe.
Safe Serve. Oh. I have it backwards. Well, you know me, Joe. I'm always backwards.
Paul was always saying it backwards. So we're all blaming on Paul. He ran out the door, so he's not here to blame.
So he's going to do this in Spanish. We did one in English, but he's going to do it in Spanish. And he's done this. He has experience. We're going to do a basic accounting with Bunker Hill Community College towards December. And then, more importantly, one-on-one counseling services. What does that mean? We've helped and Larry Quiñones, my buddy here, advisor, specialist in construction, is helping businesses to pivot. Ana Portuondo, she's the owner of Happy Days Adult Center. Do I have that right, Ana?
A little bit, yes.
A little bit.
It's ADH program,
ADH program.
and also aftercare services.
So she ran a very successful adult daycare center. COVID hit, the elderly stopped coming, but Ana still has the building and she's running it. So she's going to pivot now to child daycare center and early education. She has beautiful plans. Larry, Nana and I have helped her develop this business plan. We call it a letter of intent. I don't know if it's the right terminology, but we've developed that. Larry, with the help of Larry, Lorenzo Quiñones, has developed a construction plan to pivot, to change that from an adult daycare center to child care. And it seems like we're specializing in child care because a kangaroo pouch. ¿En dónde está?
Chestnut Street.
86 Chestnut Street.
86.
Chestnut Street. Been there for years. So Larry, Nada, and I helped them prepare a proposal to get funding from the child care. Proposal wasn't successful, many reasons, but we're going to try again. And we're going to keep trying. Mass development is one source we're going to tap. So anyhow, next. Steering committee. The business center. What I like about this is the variety of businesses, right? My daughter and her husband are running Stop and Compare. My wife is the one that founded it, but I call it, I'm not owner. Retail, Citizen Intellect Foundation, Margolis Pharmacy, El Potro Restaurante. Well, we have Paul, part of Chelsea Housing, Allen's Perfume, Delicias Salvadoreñas, and Bella Isla Restaurant, who's catering. And I'm going to go fast so that I give the floor to Juan so you can go ahead. Well, I'm excited about that team. We've met once and we're going to continue meeting every month. El Diplomado, that's another accomplishment. This is taught in Spanish for those business owners that lack English, because it's a barrier. English is a barrier that doesn't allow business owners, Latinos sobre todo, get trained. Next. Very important. Oh, and by the way, this chart, we gave this presentation out in Springfield, and Secretary Canigli was there. You know what he did? He stood up, he wanted to take a picture of this. Why is that? Simple. We have 10 advisors here, each in its own field of endeavor. Larry is a builder for 35 years. Now there's a banker. So all of these are, I call it bilingual, bicultural. And what do we offer? These are the skills we bring to the table. So if you need someone to help you with a lease, we have a lawyer. If you need someone to teach you QuickBooks, we have Alberto Luna. If you need someone to do digital marketing, we have, what's her name? Diana. So we have about 20 skills matrix, and particularly bilingual bicultural. Next. This is a new initiative, the bipartisan infrastructure law. It's coming down, and Larry, with his help and with other construction specialists that we have in our team, we're going to start doing Zoom dialogues to essentially peel the onion, basically, when this funding comes, because it's coming. Next. Takeaways, I'll leave it there. We have it, we're open for business. The workshops, And then the bilingual, bicultural business advisors, which we bring to bear when the time is required and the business requires it. Juan, this is your turn.
Oh.
Thank you.
Great. Muchas gracias. Y para estar bien claro, no es mi dinero que te estoy dando a ti. So no matter confusion, any confusion. Bueno, buenas tardes. Good evening to everybody. It is a great pleasure to be here. I do have some notes. It's really awesome to be able to come to my home city and be able to participate in an event like this, and actually to connect with a lot of folks that I don't get to see on a regular basis anymore. So, you know, back with Paul and I on City Council, certainly we're very active, and Roy, I do want to thank for his participation here as City Council President. Had an opportunity to do a lot of this, but haven't as much lately. And so I do want to just kind of congratulate the Chamber, the Hispanic American Institute, and for the unveiling of the center, and just kind of wanted to read a few notes that I had. And so first of all, thank you for the invitation to Jen and Carolina for kind of getting me coordinated to get here, and certainly want to recognize Nader and Alberto as well for their participation in this project, and to Paul, obviously, who opened up the program. So I'm happy to be here on behalf of Secretary Mike Keneally and the Baker Polito administration in support of the unveiling of the Small Business Enterprise Center, which is working to support new and existing businesses here in Chelsea. Secretary Keneally sends his well wishes and congratulations as well. We're super excited about this grant initiative that we were able to launch this past year, Community Empowerment and Enterprise in a Reinvestment Grant Program. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Solo quiero decir que de parte del secretario Mike Keneally y de la administración de Baker Polito, es un gran placer para mí estar aquí con todos ustedes, particularmente estar aquí en mi comunidad. Ya hoy en día no tengo tanta oportunidad para venir a ver y hablar con colegas que he conocido por tanto tiempo. Tengo la dicha de viajar por todo el estado en eventos así similares. Y este particular programa que nosotros lanzamos el año pasado, que se llama Community Empowerment, es un tremendo proyecto y voy a hablar un poquito más sobre eso. So in February of this year, actually, the administration announced $20 million worth of grants that went out to 65 organizations across the Commonwealth through the inaugural round of the Community Empowerment and Reinvestment Grant Program. The new program supports projects and programming designed to respond to community-defined economic opportunities within certain communities that have historically faced disproportionate challenges to economic development and economic growth. And we were glad to be able to provide over $350,000 in a grant to the Hispanic American Institute in order to partner with the Chelsea Chamber of Commerce and provide the technical assistance to the businesses and the programming that Alberto shared with us here in downtown Chelsea and throughout the community, and through the one-on-one counseling in particular, which is so important. The impact of the support, we believe, is going to result in stronger and more vibrant business community in downtowns just like Chelsea that engage residents and visitors to spend time and money here, and it also paves the way for further economic opportunities in various neighborhoods. The state's economic development plan, called Partnerships for Growth, highlights equitable opportunity as a guiding principle. And so noting that providing opportunity and growth to people and places that have not in the past fully benefited from the state's overall prosperity, and the state has been prosperous, by focusing activities and resources and investment there, we believe that's what will have significant positive effects on communities and families. El programa este año, en febrero, tuvimos la dicha, diría, de anunciar más de $20 millones a 65 organizaciones a través del estado de Massachusetts, incluyendo aquí en Jersey. Y a través de la ronda, le llamamos la ronda inaugural de este programa. Y el programa está dedicado a apoyar proyectos que están diseñados para responder a lo que llamamos oportunidades económicas en comunidades que en el pasado han sido más históricamente afectadas negativamente y no han podido progresar con el progreso o el crecimiento económico que han tenido otras regiones del Estado. Y al Instituto Hispanoamericano en particular, es un placer poder dar más de $350,000 para apoyar esta actividad, este proyecto, en conjunto con la Cámara de Comercio de Chelsea. In addition to the Economic Development Plan, I also want to highlight the Governor's Black Advisory and Latino Advisory Commissions both published reports a few years ago outlining strategies that emphasize workforce advancement and business competitiveness as critical to advancing equity and increasing economic outcomes in communities that have historically been disadvantaged. And the administration believes that these recommendations offer this clear path towards this progress. And so it's a great pleasure when the legislature decided to invest in a program and allow us to create the Community Reinvestment Program, which was targeted very specifically by the legislature to be funding that had to be directed in communities that were most impacted by the criminal justice system. So that was part of what the application had to demonstrate, that the community had a lot of negative impact because of a high poverty, low opportunity, and a lot of involvement with the criminal justice system. And then proposed a project that said, the project could have been working with young people in schools, it could have been working with businesses, working with adults, etc. But the idea is, like we did with the Urban Agenda, we opened it up and said to the community, we're not going to tell you what we think you need to fix your community or improve your community. You need to tell us, when you have the discussion amongst all the partners, tell us what kind of programming you think you most need to move forward with economic activity. This is the project that this group brought forth. Estaba diciendo que el gobernador tiene una comisión con la comunidad negra igual que con la comunidad latina. Y ambas comisiones hace unos años publicaron unos reportes donde ellos bien claramente dictaron que lo que era el mejorar, el ayudar a avanzar a la fuerza laboral, al igual que a aumentar la competitiveness. Competitividad. La competitividad del comercio, de los comerciantes, iban a ser claves para poder traer desarrollo económico y crecimiento económico en las comunidades, en particular comunidades minoritarias que históricamente no han tenido los mismos beneficios que otras comunidades. Y este proyecto, este programa que tenemos en particular nos dio esa habilidad. La legislatura nos dio una gran cantidad de dinero para poder repartir. Y lo que hicimos con eso era que nosotros no dictamos qué tenía que la comunidad hacer. Nosotros lo que dijimos es, y la legislación que trajo los fondos, lo hizo con la intención de que los fondos fueran invertidos en comunidades con alta pobreza y que han sido negativamente afectadas por lo que es el sistema de justicia criminal, donde hay muchas personas encarceladas, porque eso tiene un efecto tan negativo en la comunidad. Entonces esa es la idea, darle fondos a comunidades para que puedan levantarse. Y en este caso le invitamos a todas las comunidades que nos digan, no lo que yo o mi equipo dijera que era lo necesario, sino la comunidad nos dijera que se juntaran, hablaran y podían trabajar con jóvenes, podían trabajar con adultos, comerciantes, lo que sea. Y en este caso, pues, este fue el proyecto que nos trajeron. So that we now have one of these a successful round under our belts. The FY23 budget that the governor recently signed is adding another $50 million into the fund for us to be able to make another round of grants. And so we recently opened up the RFP. A reminder, if anybody in this room is working on this application, September 14th is the deadline, so you don't want to miss that. And we hope to again see a wide range of applications from organizations like this that are working to advance economic growth throughout the Commonwealth. You can go to our website to see all the details, including all of the grants that we provided. There were 65 of them. They're all on our website, and you can speed about the other projects. Meanwhile, our office is hopeful that the legislature passes an economic development bill later this year in the fall so that we can actually have some more resources to put forward for community development, for housing, and better economic opportunity in Massachusetts. So congratulations to the Hispanic American Institute, to the Chamber of Commerce, and to everyone that's involved in this project. Felicidades a todos. Gracias.
I don't know if you have any questions. We've been talking a lot here. Hemos estado hablando mucho. ¿Alguna pregunta antes de go and partake of the beautiful comida de Bella Isla? To the secretary or myself. As I said, this program, because of funding, we are extending this program probably until December. And one of the things that will be essentially communicating with the community is basically these programs that I put forth to try to enroll all of most of the business owners possible. So if there's nothing else, we can...
All crystal clear.
all crystal clear.